going on, Schmoedown fans? Welcome back to another episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. I'm former Star Wars champion, Andrew Dimalanta.
And I'm Star Wars competitor, Nicki Dimalanta.
Another Friday Night Titans to go over a massive Friday Night Titans.
Are they ever not at this point?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, we always open it as like, oh man, great set of matches. It's like, when are they not great?
I feel like it's always going to be that way.
Yeah.
And it's only going to get better next week or this weekend. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. This coming weekend's going to be met. So good.
I cannot wait. Oh, my goodness. So should we just like
do it? Yeah, we just get right into it because I don't think there's any news or anything to get into.
Like I said, I feel like, microphone's kind of loose. What's going on here, loosey-goosey?
Hold on, let's go ahead and rotate it that way. We'll cut this off. I'm going to leave it in.
Like this?
Yeah, that's good. I'll fix it later.
Hello?
Well, you always add some gusto into your...
That's only up here, baby. I'm not twisting anything down here. My goodness.
We'll see.
Maybe we should start wearing lapels.
No. Yeah, I think that's something we can talk about because like that's one thing that like we've been noticing. I get why they moved to the lapels and got rid of the desk mics because it looks more professional, but like especially for teams.
Yeah.
It's actually I think we'll get into it when we talk about the match because yeah. Let's just go and get ready because it kind of flows into that. So we'll get to it.
Let's
save it.
Build to it. Okay, so we got an opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
We have Gucci and the Barbarian, and they're talking to Frankie Numbers. And, talk about Sam. Got a big old number one contender match coming up, talking about the opponent, whatever. Gucci said Sam's a loser. True Gucci fashion, trying to sell somebody a sock for $300.
He's called me a loser before, too.
You know what? I think you're right.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost an honor.
Yeah.
Like, I love Gucci. And then Barbarian said that Sam's attempt to return will be short-lived. And, a lot of heat coming from the
a lot of fighting words coming from the exchange.
A lot of heat. And then, Gucci was mad that his back alley sale was ruined by Frankie trying to get his, interview going. So that was that. And then we're going to move into the first match. I don't know if these are actually... they're undercards. Yeah. Undercards, overcards. Yeah. So our undercard is a team's match. Mm-hmm. Looks like our theory about the formula is right.
Shut up, stupid!
It was never like it was secret.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people have like caught on. It's like, oh yeah.
Oh,
it's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like there was like a week where somebody was like, the match is going to be this and this person and that person. I'm like, where'd you hear that? I don't know. Like, because it's kind of like, oh, well, we know that this person or this team is going to be in it. It's like, where'd you hear the other person? What am I not listening to? And also, oh, well, I'll find out in due time.
Facebook book. The Facebook page and probably Reddit. I don't know.
I'll find out.
Paying attention to people on Twitter.
When I watch Titans, that's when I'll find out.
I'm so inactive on Twitter now. It is ridiculous.
On Twitter?
On Twitter. I am not active on Twitter at all anymore.
Wow.
Like, I'll post
That's
every
true.
When people tag me, I'll see it, I'll interact, but like I hardly ever post there anymore.
Wow.
Like it's all I'm
kicked to the curb for TikTok.
TikTok and Instagram are pretty much the two platforms I'm most active on right now.
You see, I'm barely active on Instagram.
Yeah.
So
I get a lot more traffic on Instagram now. And a lot more traffic on TikTok now. So
I don't know, man. I don't know. Instagram, I just don't think to post on Instagram. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like we haven't been taking a lot of pictures lately, but we are striving to do that.
Yeah,
more.
It's not just pictures too. Like I'll repost people's things to my stories just to, because like there's this one.
I don't know how stories work. I'm such a boomer in that respect.
Well, there's this one toy photographer that I follow. He's a buddy of mine on TikTok, and we both follow each other on Instagram and TikTok. And I'll repost a bunch of his stuff just to get his pictures out there. So that's mostly what I do. Can you turn the fan on? We always forget.
It's the one closest to me.
Yes. I gotta put that thing up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
If only it was in the shot, but you won't be able to see it.
Yeah.
Oh well. But yeah, no stories. I'm like, what's the point? It's a thing where they'll only see it for 24 hours.
Yeah, it's just stuff you want to post that you don't want on your feed for like to be there like all the time.
Who cares? What am I going to post that I wouldn't want to be on my feed?
Dumb stuff. I don't know.
It just doesn't make sense to me. If I'm going to put it on social media, it's the internet. It's there.
You can access your stories as the poster and
So it's there.
It's there. You can have, but people won't be able to see it unless you make it a highlight.
Well, they'll screenshot it if they need to.
Yeah.
It's the internet, baby boy.
Yeah, it's there.
It's the Wild West. Nothing out there is like, it's only there for 24 hours. No, it's there.
It's there.
It's there in somebody's camera roll, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Unless it's a picture of like your dog, then who cares? That's not saucy and spicy. Care. You know? I care. I get that reference. I don't know. Stories just don't make sense to me. You know what else makes even less sense to me? How anybody uses Snapchat for anything other than taking stupid pictures. There's like reels and stories on there too. All I do on Snapchat is look at the funny filters. Our daughters like take silly pictures. I'm like, yeah, word, let's do it. Apparently, it's like an actual platform where people do things.
I don't think I'll ever.
I don't know. I think I'm too much of a boomer.
To that.
What's missing here? Something was tall here.
I told you the new light fixture. Oh, there's C-stands that are in the garage now.
That's probably what it is. There's just something that used to fill up my peripheral here, and it's not there anymore.
Yeah, it was C-stands.
Empty space. Okay.
Yeah, it looks cleaner in here though.
Well, not from my vantage point.
It's open now, like you said. There's more space and stuff in here.
I would love to spring clean this room.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, me too.
I love throwing things away. I love throwing things away. Here and guess what, baby? Away. It's the first day of spring. You know what that means?
Is it?
Spring cleaning.
I mean, yeah.
I love it. Oh, I love throwing things away. Oh, it's so freeing. Oh, it makes my soul feel clean. Okay, our first match, the undercard.
Just don't touch my lenses.
You know that I would never touch anything in here without asking you first. Yep. But there are a lot of things I wouldn't want to ask you. I just want to throw it away. But I wouldn't.
Yeah.
You know, oh boy, like what's all that garbage over there? There's a lot of boxes. I bet I could throw away. Yeah. Oh,
I'm garbage. I'm a box hoarder.
You're a little bit of a hoarder
for boxes.
With certain things.
Yeah.
A good topic for another time. We got a teams match here. We have the movement.
Mm-hmm.
You know, new team.
Yeah.
Fan favorites. Faction, you know. Yeah. It's, of course, JTE, Little Evil himself. Mm-hmm. And it's JTE and THE now. You know?
THE Paul Preston.
THE. The Paul Preston. Can I deviate for a second here? Not like that's not all we've done so far anyway.
I knew this was going to come the second he's like, the Paul Preston. I'm like, this is going to come up and beyond. This will 100% come up and beyond. So go ahead and rant for a little bit before we get into this match.
Not like we haven't already deviated off course 20 times, but like, I find it. So, and this is no reflection on Paul Preston because he's just doing character work, and I respect him for that. In football, college football to be well, and also sometimes pro, but mostly college.
It's because of these players come from this university.
When they have like before the game, and they have like the little headshots of everyone, they're like, "My name is so and so, and I'm from the Ohio State." Is there another Ohio State?
No.
Or is there anything that you need to differentiate this Ohio State from another one? Then what's the fucking point? Unless there was there's a couple different Florida schools, but none of them have the same name.
Yeah.
It's the University of Florida, University of Central Florida, University of Southern Florida, the Florida State University. What?
Miami.
Miami. That would be like me going, I'm Dimmy and I'm from the University of Central Florida. What other University of Central Florida is there? What other Ohio State is there? I just think it's so stupid. I got the best Ohio State university.
All of our Ohio State fans just...
Are those Buckeyes? Are they Buckeyes?
They're the Buckeyes.
If you say the Ohio State, get out. It's stupid. There's no other Ohio State that you need to differentiate yourself from. It's so stupid. And I feel like some other people... I feel like Ohio State was the first ones to do it. And now other people are doing it too with other universities. And it's like there aren't any schools that have the exact same name. What's the point? Because it's the best one. It's the only one, my dude.
I have my own thoughts about Ohio State, but I'm not going to say them here.
Does it have anything to do with the word "the"?
No, it has. It has with I'm not going to get it because I'm pretty sure we lost a lot of listeners just by ranting about the Ohio State University.
How many listeners from Ohio do we have? Sound off in the comments. There's only one Ohio State University. You have no need to differentiate your school from another school with the same name. There is not another school with the same name.
Oh boy.
Why do you have to make that big of a distinction? It's stupid and I hate it. But I'll allow it with Paul Preston because it's funny and I like him and everything. And also it's kind of funny to have JTE, THE, even though I know
that's fun. I really like that.
I know that THE is not like his nickname. I don't know. It doesn't seem that he's the powder keg anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I think he's THE Paul Preston.
THE Paul Preston, the Paul Preston is there probably are other Paul Prestons in the world. And in that case, that's why I'm okay with it. That way we know that this is the one.
I'm the Andrew Dimalanta.
This is the one that we're talking about right now, because there probably is another Paul Preston running around the world right now.
I'm just waiting for that, because there's always that one comment that just has to like.
Well, actually, there is another Ohio State University.
No, not that. It's just explaining why they say the Ohio State University.
I don't care. I really don't care. You can't convince me that it's not dumb, because it is. It's so dumb.
Let's move on.
Unless you can prove to me that there's literally 2 Ohio State universities, I don't care. And I highly doubt anybody else feels as passionately about it as I do.
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do either. So just let me do my thing. Let me get it out. And I feel like I did. And I feel like it's out there. And I feel like no one's going to do it anymore now. I feel like college football is going to catch my drift and be like, wow, yeah, that is actually kind of dumb. We won't do it anymore. Thanks for the heads up, bro. Anyways, we got JTE and THE versus the Harris Bros.
Harris Bros.
A rogue team. And that is consisting of course, Lon Harris and John Harris. Almost had to think for a second. I was like, what's John's last name? Wow.
Lon is no longer the delinquent, I don't think.
No. And also somebody made a very good comment that I would never have thought of, because I'm not the biggest wrestling fan there is. I watched it for a hot minute, in high school. Monday Night Raw, the Hardy Boys, Triple H, Stephanie McMahon, she's girlfriends with Triple H.
Wife.
Well, I didn't watch that far. Somebody made some kind of a comment somewhere that Lon Harris is basically like the Mick Foley.
Mick Foley
of the Schmoedown. Whoops. Yeah. I'm thinking of Nick Harley. Mick Foley of the Schmoedown, and where it's like Mankind.
Dude Love,
and the other one.
Dude Love and Cactus Jack.
Wow, I would never have pulled that. Wow. And then he's the same person, but like different shades of the same person.
Yeah.
Because they referenced the professor and he was like, what? And they referenced the delinquent. He was like, what? Yeah. I'm Lon Harris. I live with my dog Taco. I'm living in an apartment with my dog Taco. And I was like, what's happening? But then that person made that comment. And I'm like, oh, that's fun. Unintentional, it's probably. Fun, But
or intentional.
It might be a little
it might be a little intentional. Like maybe Lon was tired of playing these characters, and it's like, oh, it's not knowledge, and we'll make it like a Mick Foley type of thing. And it fits right in with the kind of vibe they're going with.
I appreciate, like the professor, I could see that getting old for him.
Yeah.
I could see that getting to be an old character to play. I really do. I love the delinquent.
The delinquent was hilarious.
And then I love this regular old Lon. I love the common thread of like, I don't know what I'm doing here, but I'm here. So let's talk about
movies. They said we're going to play. And that's another thing. They got called out.
Right.
Seconds before the match happened.
They had no idea.
Yeah, they had no idea that they were playing.
So, both Harris brothers just happened to be in the area getting some cronuts,
Yeah. And it's fun to have that little like connection, that because JTE and Lon used to be teammates.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
that was before his accident, right?
Yeah, then JTE had to step away,
and that's when he ditched him for his real brother. What a jerk! Because JT was like, "We're blood brothers." It's like, yeah, so are they, literally,
the actual brothers.
But yeah, man, I totally forgot about that. Like I said, attention span of a goldfish. Anyways, we have the Movement versus the Harris Bros. Round 1. Paul missed a question about the fugitive. It was one of those questions with which one of these people didn't appear in it. John and JTE missed a question about Brad Dourif. Don't know. Never heard of him. Never heard of him. Lon and John missed a question about Eddie the Eagle. I think that was it.
Good movie. Very good movie.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it? It's
No.
on this channel. I reviewed it.
Who's in it? Sorry to put you on the spot.
Hugh Jackman and Eggsy. Guy who plays Eggsy.
Taron Egerton.
Yeah. He's the lead. The leads. It's about what are that? Ski jumping?
Skiing with jumping?
No, that one when they go down that big hill and they jump.
Slalom.
No, it's not slalom.
I always think that's slalom.
I think it's called ski jumping. It's when the one is like, how do they not?
Oh, the distance.
The distance one. How
they like lean forward and
yeah,
stuff.
it's like, woo, that one.
I was every kind of skiing. I'm like, oh, it's giant slalom. I really actually have no idea what that sport is. I just always assume it's
ski jumping.
The one with the skis.
Yeah.
At the end of round 1, 17-18. I've never heard of it. I think you're making it up. 17-18 in favor of the movement. Round 2. Also, I definitely appreciate the fact that it did not take long for a bowel movement joke to be made.
Yeah.
It's a long time coming, except it wasn't because it happened very quickly. So I definitely appreciate that. I think that was courtesy of
Lon Harris, yeah.
My boy. Round 2. The Harris brothers spin away from the Rocky franchise. It was a little bit of a shaky spin because like he was like, I don't want to touch the pegs.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still a thing, but like he gave it a spin and it was kind of like was it enough? And I guess they said it was. So they were like, give it another spin. Give it another spin, but this time with a little bit more mustard on it, you know? Sprinkle a little bit more pepper in there. And he did. He actually held onto the pole, gave it a nice spin, and they got a wild card.
The wheel seems to be getting greased because I guess it's one of those where you gotta like.
Yes and no.
It needs to be a couple more like because like
you just gotta put a little extra.
Yeah, because there are some people like Mike has done it and Sam in this next match did it and like just like I was like, wow, that's going
like a slice is gonna fall off, my man.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's kind of what John he did. His second spin was great. His first spin was like did it go all the way around? You know, so it kind of just depends on how hard you spin it. Because I feel like there are some spins that it's like, wow, someone needs to grease it up, and there are other spins, no, never mind. Because last year it was like, wow, somebody WD-40'd the hell out of this wheel. Yeah. So it's. I wonder if it's
a lot of the people like. The people that don't, it doesn't like, it's a questionable spin. It's like they didn't go up and do some practice spins with it before the match happens because I know
a handle for it.
Yeah, because I know when I was at the studio, I was like, I need to spin it at least once before I get up there.
Yeah, a little warm up.
Yeah, it's a little warm up spin just to get the feel for it.
Yeah.
So
especially this new wheel.
Yeah,
seems like it's a little toiter. You know. Anyways, they got a wild card. It's the random category.
Ooh.
Alien invasion.
Interesting.
Turned out pretty effing well. They got a perfect round 2. Yeah. Knocked it out of the park. They like aliens, those Harris brothers. The movement goes. They spin away from a wild card. Didn't want to take that 50-50 shot at opponents. And they get Tom Hanks, America's uncle. As they
Daddy uncle.
Ironed out in this match. They went to multiple choice twice. Got both of them. With that, little flipperoo.
A little swing.
26-27 now in favor of the Harris brothers. Round 3, 2-pointer for the movement. Paul takes it. Sequels and prequels. Funny. Which actress plays the role of Jyn Erso, who is attempting to steal the Death Star plans for the Rebel Alliance in Rogue One, a Star Wars story?
Felicity Jones?
The ever rare, elusive Star Wars question in a non-Star Wars or IG match.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Funny how. And then funny how it might pop up again. So that was fun. It's funny. I did speech to text as I do. And Jyn Erso is autocorrected as gin, like the drink. Yeah. Or so with a question mark. Luckily, I've watched the movie and I knew what we were going for.
Thank God you've watched the movie.
Anyways, it's Felicity Jones. He got it. 2-pointer for the Harris brothers. DC, Lon takes it. What famous horror director helmed 2018's Aquaman? James Wan got it. 3-pointer for the movement. JTE takes it, of course. Matt and Ben.
Oh no, that's not a good sign.
While Paul Greengrass has become known as the definitive... Okay, that does make sense. It was an odd way to start a question when I didn't know where it was going. Yeah. While Paul Greengrass has become known as the definitive Bourne director, who initially directed Matt Damon in the first entry...
of the Bourne franchise?
I need some punctuation here to help me read this. While Paul Greengrass has become known as the definitive Bourne director, who initially directed Matt Damon in the first entry, The Bourne Identity. A couple of commas would have helped me out there.
Speech to text doesn't do that.
It does, but not reliably.
No.
Doug Lyman.
Yep.
Got it. 3-pointer for the Harris brothers. John takes this one. Denzel Washington, who plays the role of Special Agent Paul Priswara in Deja Vu. Doc Holliday himself. Val Kilmer.
He misses.
He missed it. So we're going to stick with the Harris brothers for a 5-pointer. The Scotts. What historical epic from director Ridley Scott features performances from David Thewlis, Ava Green, Liam Neeson and Edward Norton. Kingdom of Heaven. They got that pretty quickly.
Pretty good movie.
Not too much brain power needed. They was kind of right there. Sounds like a video game, but that's Kingdom Hearts.
Yes. Ooh, good video game.
I never played it, but I liked watching my brother play
I've only played the first one, and I watched my brothers play the second.
That's the one where it looks like Disney characters, right?
Yes, but they steered away from the Disney characters in the third one or something. I can't remember. I only played the first one because, sorry for the tangent, fantastic concept of crossing over Squaresoft characters.
Goofy's in it, right?
Yeah, and Disney characters. Fantastic gameplay. I got to replay that series. But
no, never played it. You know what I liked?
It's good.
Well, you know what I liked, even though I never played it? I watched my brother play a lot of video games. And there was a lot of video games I appreciate, but not because I played them, because I watched my brother play them.
Yeah.
There are games that I appreciate because I played them. I always loved Final Fantasy X because they had those 3 cute little chicks in it, right? Yeah. Riku,
Yuna, and I can't remember
the one with the edgy haircut.
Yeah, I can't remember her name. I never played it, but I just remember like, yeah.
I'm going to Google it before the night is over.
Yeah.
Anyways, 5-pointer for the movement. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman appears in America's grandfather, I think is what they said he was. Morgan Freeman appears in what sci-fi film which features supporting performances from Andrea Riseborough? I don't know if it's Nikolai or Nikolaj. I thought it was Nikolai.
Might be Nikolai.
But then again, Nikolaj Coster-Waldau and Melissa Leo. Oblivion. They got it. With that, 34-36 in favor of the movement. Woo. This match had some twists and turns.
Back and forth, a perfect second round. I believe this is the only it's the second random wild card slice that we've seen this season, right? Because the first one was the Wild Berries.
Like Die Hard stuff.
It was the Wild Berries.
Yeah, like Die Hard adjacent type movies.
So it's like, and I think they did well with that too. So it's like, it's only a matter of time before a wacky one comes up that really hurts somebody.
Yeah.
So, because as of right now, the two like
pain.
Yeah.
I would never have gotten that on my own.
Me either.
Thank God this isn't a video game trivia Schmoedown.
Yeah, but like I said, like I don't. It's only a matter of time because like as of right now, it hasn't really hindered the competitors too much. It's only shown up in teams match too. So
not so. Well, yeah.
Yeah. So like they've been able to rely on each other for these wildcard slices. I'm waiting for it to come up in like a singles or IG. Or even Star Wars.
Yeah,
I'm really curious how it's gonna play out in the specialty divisions.
Well, it's crazy because in any division, specialty or singles teams, the scary part of it is it could be literally anything, and it could be the dumbest thing.
Yeah,
like I think we at one point were like, oh, food, famous dishes, in cinema or whatever. It could be that's the crazy thing is it could be literally any tiny little thing that it's like, I never thought about that before. That's what I think makes it kind of scary. But IG and Star Wars will be interesting because there are still in the IG and Star Wars division, you think it would be easier because it's more focused, but it's actually almost more terrifying because it means you can dive deeper into stuff.
And the questions get far more creative too.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays.
And it's interesting because like these last two wild cards, it's like I think the first one was a little bit more like, what? Because it's like,
and it just fits so well that it was a Die Hard type thing with Josh McCouga.
Yeah, and it's like Die Hard adjacent type of things. It's like okay, but then this one is like the category was
alien
invasion, and so it's kind of oddly specific.
Right.
So
and they killed it.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny how like. Oh, it's supposed to, the wild card is there to hopefully trip up the competitors. Haven't seen that yet.
Well, it's only happened twice. It will happen.
It will. I'm waiting. I think it's going to really come to play in with the individual divisions and not so much in teams. You know what I mean?
Because you got two minds going at the same question, sure.
So I'm waiting for it to happen in the other divisions.
Yeah, especially specialty divisions because that's more our speed, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's terrifying because it could be any tiny little thing that you're like, oh my God, I've never thought, it could be like something about, cameos. It could be things about musical scores and like singles and teams. It could be something crazy about like
quotes with this context or something like that. It's I don't want to give any ideas, but
Billboard hits that also appeared in movies and crap like that. Like things that you're like, oh God, I never thought about that. Oscar related. It could be crazy stuff like that. That's what makes it so scary. And I think that's why we're going to see a lot of people not necessarily willingly taking wild cards, unless they're just kind of like, let's be crazy today.
Yeah. And it's all the writers have already shown to be creative with just general questions. That whole new format of like which actor or character does not appear in this movie. It's like, whoa, that's a new curveball. Yeah. So they're starting to make steps in direction that makes things more interesting. So
for sure.
Yeah. But speaking back on this match, like this was a fun like back and forth type of deal where like, oh, they're ahead. Now they're ahead. Yeah. And we were talking about this after we watched the match, like the reason John took the 2-pointer and not the 3 is because like I know nothing about DC. Right. But that DC question was very gettable.
Yeah, I wonder if he would have gotten that.
Because it's like there's a lot of context clues in there, like horror director. Directed a very popular DC film.
That was somewhat recent.
It was somewhat recent. I wonder if he would have known that. But then I looked back at the tape and it's like, oh, it didn't seem like Lon knew the 3-pointer anyways. So like it probably wouldn't have mattered even if John knew the 2 points. So it's like, because I think that's what it really came down to was that 3-point miss. And I hate to put it on like John, like, oh, they lost because of him. It's like, well, a couple of misses in the first could have made you made your points up there. Yeah. You had an amazing round 2. Oh yeah. So I like seeing the Harris brothers back together because I love their dynamic.
I do too. I told you after the match, I'm like, God, they're so they have such a fun, unique, just like whatever personalities. I just want to play like beer pong with them. Like, I just think that'd be a lot of fun. Like, I really do enjoy their dynamic. It's almost like they're related or something. They have a really fun sense of humor. And I really, and I just feel like Lon sometimes just cannot catch a break. But you know, usually people have their time.
He's one of those players. Like I said, who was it? We're talking about Barbarian, Janine. Who else was there? McQueenie. Yeah. Like they can't seem to catch a break sometimes. And it's not that Lon is a terrible player. He's a very, very capable player. He got so close to beating Shazam and all that nonsense. So it's just a matter of time for him. It's just and it's not like he's not going to get any matches.
Oh no, I think he's too. First of all, he's already shown that he is a fantastic player. He played with Paul Oyama, and Paul Oyama is one of the greats, former champ. So like I said with like Bibiani, you don't play with a player like Oyama. You don't play with a player like Bibiani. You don't have a teammate like that unless you keep up with them. Yeah. So Lon, he's proven that he can keep up. And he's also got a wonderful personality. And so I think that, it's absolutely a no-brainer that we're going to see him again. It's just a matter of when. And I also love the contrast. I do love when there's a match like this where there's a contrast between like the what are we doing here kind of attitude of the Harris brothers.
Am I supposed to be here?
Am I supposed to be here, Dad? And then they're going up against the movement and they're like intense. We're calling you out. We want to face you today. Get out here, stupids, and they've got their own intent. They came out before introductions even happened. Yeah. They let themselves onto the stage and took the mic and started like talking about nothing. So they have their own little edge to them. JTE's coming out and he's all like, I don't need Gucci, He didn't let me be me, and now look at my sick outfit, and I get to really be me.
the AK chain just kills me, like
the stripe, and then Preston's got his like red jacket on. It's just the one comment that made me like die a little bit from laughing was when it was in between rounds and like Adam Witt had come out as the manager, of course. And the three of them are talking and Ellis made a joke about how it looks like a bad deal is going down in Grand Theft Auto. And then I was like, that was a funny comment. And then the camera pans back to the three of them and I analyzed their outfits a little bit further. I'm like, that matches up. Grand Theft Auto is one of those games that I actually did play. I know there's like multiple ones. Yeah. 3? 4, I think, was Vice City.
There's multiple.
Though, I mean, and then I think 5 was San Andreas. I played the piss out of Grand Theft Auto 3. The one where you're a guy, the main character doesn't talk. He's got a black jacket, green pants, if I'm not mistaken. Played the piss out of that game. Even more so, I think it was Grand Theft Auto 4 when your main character is Tommy Vercetti. And he did talk. I feel like he was one of the first Grand GTA characters that actually talked.
Yeah.
And oh my God, I've played that game. Because there's like different outcomes you can have. I played the ever-loving crap out of Vice City. So I thought that was a pretty funny joke. I appreciated that. Because as soon as you saw their outfits were more reminiscent of like, it wasn't San Andreas. I think San Andreas was 6 because I think the one in between was the one where it was like, I may not be good at life, but I'm bold like an angel.
5 or 4?
5.
I think it's 5.
I just don't remember what it was called.
It was just a number. It wasn't like an actual city.
The one where you were like a Russian guy.
Yeah.
You know, that one
like an angel.
I bowl like an angel. Like we only played that one a little bit, but the outfit was like, yes, they looked like they were pulled right out of that game.
Nico Bellic.
Yes. Oh my God.
I remember getting like drunk in that game and just wandering the streets and like, oh, there he goes, and he falls over.
That was definitely one of those games where you had multiple different outcomes depending on what decisions you made. That's a lot of fun.
It's either spoiler or you play the game. Either the girlfriend dies or the cousin dies.
Oh, Christmas. Wow.
Yeah.
No need to play that anymore. But when he made that comment, I definitely had a hearty chuckle. I thought it was funny.
There's another comment, just to bring it back to that earlier conversation that we had about the lapels.
Yes.
How about like there was one of the questions in the second round for the movement, and they're like they had to go multiple choice, and like you can hear them whispering, and like, and Paul Person's like, I have no effing clue.
Yeah.
And then like they're like, oh yeah, we had to repeat it, we had to discuss it, but then freaking Ellis is like, I heard every freaking word that you said, and you
didn't have a gut feeling.
Yeah.
It's like, thanks for sanitizing that comment.
And it's like, oh, that's kind of what sucks about the lapels now.
Yeah.
Is that everybody, and especially for like, you know, the people editing this stuff, like they can hear everything you're doing. So I think that a big reason why Harloff didn't like the digital teams format is because you can hear the discussion.
Yeah, it sucks because there might be, you don't want to show your cards.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I don't remember what movie that was they were being asked about.
Yeah.
But the fact that, I know it's only one movie out of like a gazillion, but there's strategy in the way you talk to each other. There's strategy in the way you reason through a question that you might not know the answer. There might be, because they had gone to multiple choice. And even with multiple choice, he said, I have no effing clue. So that was hilarious, by the way. But like, I don't know, there might be strategy in the way you make your guesses, the way you get to your answers. And I do kind of like, every time we hear them talking, you kind of have to strain to hear what they're saying, sure. But I almost kind of wish it was like, I almost wish we couldn't, you know, because I'm sure in post.
Oh yeah, it's as simple as muting the track.
You know, I know that it's easier said than done. I'm sure I know it probably takes
it is a lot
of
of
time.
Yeah.
Like I understand that, and maybe that's why, because it's like, no, who cares? You know, it's not that big of a deal. But I do like the mystery of not knowing what they're talking about. Yeah. Not knowing, because imagine if that question, I know they were doing multiple choice, but imagine if that question was a 5-pointer and you hear one of the competitors be like, I have no clue. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Yeah. I kind of like the mystery of them talking. Hey, can you repeat the question? Talking. Hey, can you repeat the question? Yeah. And not having an idea of whether they know it or not.
Yeah. And that was the benefit of the desk mic. So like we can just like, and you wouldn't hear because you get, because kind of proud of myself because these are the exact mics that they used at the Collider Studios. This is the very exact mics.
Are they?
And
fancy.
The exact same. So that's the one thing like I wish, because it's that whole like argument between sport versus sport entertainment. It's fun to have our Ellis call them out. It's like, oh yeah, I heard every freaking word you said because the announcers can hear what's all the hot mics. But like from a competitor standpoint, it's like we don't want that out there. We don't want them to like.
Yeah, I like to kind of keep it close.
Keep it close to the chest.
That's one of the luxuries of being like a single competitor. You know, I'm thinking through things in my head. No one's ever going to know what's going on in my brain. Yeah. They're not going to know if I'm going, oh no, I have no idea, or oh wait, no, I know this. Yeah. But when you have the lapels,
it's kind of hard.
You can kind of hear it. Great example of I have no effing clue. Yeah. You know, but yeah, I mean, it's a tiny little thing. It's not a big deal at all. Oh, yeah. It's just a matter of personal preference. I do enjoy the mystery.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, imagine if one day when we finally do get to a title match, you know, Shazam's going against somebody, and then it comes down to a 5-pointer, regardless of which team it is. And now you're like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and we've seen especially in the couple team matches that we had, like they'll like cover, and like really whisper. I feel like I would. But I like just to if I was a team's competitor, I would do this. Just cover the lapel and whisper.
I don't know how much of an effect that would have.
You would still be able to hear because like it's right there and you can still feel the.
And then you also got to worry about like if somebody's kind of like if they're kind of clunky with their movements and you just hear a bunch of that.
And that's another thing about lapels that I don't like, especially with somebody that like fidgets a lot. Sorry, videographer tangent. Like people like fidget, especially if you have it like on their like a lapel, the jacket lapel, because like people would. For weddings, the groom would fidget a lot, and I'd hear like
nervous grooms.
A lot of like this.
Oh, don't do that! I'm gonna fall asleep.
And if you didn't position it right, the movement of the jacket would hit the lapel constantly, and I spend hours upon hours in post just removing all that nonsense.
Well, with you making that point, the good thing is that hasn't been an issue.
Yeah.
I mean, every so often you hear somebody touch their shirt, or you hear Brendan Meyer breathe.
I was so disappointed in ourselves last week, like. It's like we're back in the studio. It's a controlled environment, and somehow Brendan Meyer still is able to breathe into the microphone.
That's hilarious.
I watched our episode back, like, damn it, we didn't mention. Love you, Brendan, but like
he doesn't watch the
somehow
show.
is able to figure out how to.
It's like a trademark at this point. I would almost be disappointed if he didn't.
Yeah,
but yeah, no. Luckily, ambient noise with a lapel hasn't been an issue.
Yeah,
but if it perfect world, it's 1, 2, 3 to take it out and post. I don't know what all goes into it.
Depending how the editors get it. If it's multi-tracked, you can just make cuts here and there, mute the track, and
also I get it.
But it is time consuming.
They're filming a lot of matches. They want to churn them out. So I get it. But if in a perfect world, that would be if I knew how to edit anything, that's what I would do. So I did just get an iPhone for my work, and it has iMovie on it, and I'm like. I used to use that once upon a time.
I told you I can get you a free software.
Like I got the time. Maybe next year.
Yeah, but so there's benefits to the lapels and there's downfalls to it. But
I think the pros outweigh the cons.
Oh yeah, absolutely. There's more room for activities on the desk.
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. Brandon Handy, you can rub the desk if you really want to. So there's more room for. And activities.
I was disappointed that Paul Preston didn't go back to the shtick of.
It's this.
Yeah, before the match, he's still doing the on the table, which I think they're glad that's where the lapels really benefit because when you hit the desk, it reverbs through the desk and hits the mic.
True.
So
because some people get kind of crazy with the desk. So after that match, we had a little bit of a wait a minute, no, never mind. In the post-match interview. Jen was asking, okay, so you guys won this match. Congratulations.
Who do you want next?
What do you want next? Because we're all about calling people out in Titans.
I'm actually glad that the call outs are back because in last 2 seasons, you really couldn't do that because it was almost 100% competition based.
Yeah.
And you had no freedom. It's like, I want to call this person out. And then boom, there it is the next week.
That's why I cannot even put into words how much I'm loving Titans.
Yeah.
Like, love it so much.
Yeah.
So Jen was like, who do you want next, bro? And JTE kind of took the lead on this and he goes, hey, listen, man, I got Gucci in my sights next. Because, old manager, bad blood, yada, yada, says that he should have been in the tournament. They put a couple rookies in instead. And sure, they went to the finals. Sure, they went to Spectacular, but they weren't able to finish it out. It's crazy to be like, yeah, sure, they went to Spectacular. Like, just like brush it off like that.
You realize how hard it is to get to Spectacular.
But that's what Trash Talk is all about.
Yeah.
So, but it was so funny from, well, sure, they went to Spectacular and won a tournament. It's what but he goes, yeah, he should have been in the tournament. And he says that he and Paul are now they're going for the belts. So they're setting their sights on Gucci next. So
does that mean they go against King Arthur?
I would imagine not because like you said, King Arthur just won a tournament. Yeah. They just went to Spectacular. I'd imagine there's still got to be some kind of like bracketing, bracketeering.
Pecking order rankings.
Not a word. Exactly.
Yeah. So like King Arthur would be ranked higher, so they wouldn't be able unless you never know. It's a new season. They can call them out and they can like sure whatever and accept it.
That ass, you can finally do that.
Yeah.
So
we'll see.
I don't know. I feel like
it'd be a great storyline. It's like, oh, you should have put me in the tournament. Let me show you why. Type of deal.
That'd be wild. So I don't know. I feel like with the with the rankings, quote unquote rankings and whatever, I feel like it might almost be like a ruling class type situation where they're like, give me Shazam. And Koi was like, I'll give you this team for now. So if JTE's like, give me King Arthur, I don't know who we'd go with. Because do we know every single member of the Finstock Exchange at this point?
The exchange right now, it is King Arthur, so it's Khan and...
I mean, that's been confirmed, right?
Yeah. I think the
more or less.
5th spot is still open.
Because we got Barbarian, we got Gold Leader,
and King Arthur as of right now. So I think that 5th spot is still kind of a question mark.
So you never know. He could pick somebody up.
He doesn't need to.
He could have 2 teams. As of right now, we are only aware of 1. So if he's calling out Finstock, maybe he's calling out King Arthur. Or maybe Gucci be like, no.
Yeah, I'll give you somebody else.
I'll do something else. But as of right now, all we know about is King Arthur. So that would be a spicy match.
It could be like a one-off team. Like, all right, you want to play somebody, I'll give you this combination of players.
They could. But it would also be pretty spicy to be like, I should have been in that tournament. Let me beat him and show you why.
Yeah.
Will it happen? Time will tell. Okay. Oh, God. Okay. And then we got a little cutscene. We got the other half of the first cutscene. Now we got Frankie talking to Sam. And he's talking to Sam about, Barbarian, all that kind of stuff.
Hiding in the shadows, sneaking up on Sam like, hey.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy. I want an interview.
Let's talk about your match. And Sam, they're talking about Barbarian. What do you think? Are you intimidated? Blah, blah, blah. And Sam's like, hey, listen. Oh, well, because Frankie asked, you're coming back after,
4-year hiatus
long
from competition.
What do you think about being in a number 1 contender match straight out the gate kind of thing? Because he asked him, about, he didn't ask him about Schmoedown, but he was like, what did Christian say, blah, blah, blah. And Sam's like, oh, I don't know. I just, Christian's been begging me kind of thing. And, Yeah,
because nobody's supposed to know about the Schmoedown.
I thought that was a little fun moment.
Yeah.
It was like, wow, what is reality even?
Because like the people in the show don't watch the show.
it was trippy kind of.
Yeah.
But Sam was like, yeah, man.
Crazy fourth wall breaks.
I've won 7 straight singles matches in a row. I retired with both belts.
Crazy.
And that's why he's in this number 1 contender match. I'm sorry if I just, he says that he's going to prove that he deserves to be there when he wins. And he says that he's a rogue player. He did it once before on his own, and he's fully capable of doing it again on his own. So with that, now we have the overcard. Sam, the Inglourious one.
The return of the Inglourious one.
The long-awaited return of the Inglourious one, Sam Levine going against the Barbarian of the Finstock Exchange. Sam, like we said, of course, representing himself, rogue player, just here to
bust some heads.
Brackets and bust balls, Round 1. I don't know. Let's go for some alliteration. Busted balls, busting brackets. Round 1. Barbarian missed a question about Sean Levy. Sam. Perfect round 1.
Yeah.
What break are you talking about? And he got the bonus. So with that, at the end of round 1, 9-10 in favor of Levine.
I keep forgetting that round 1 across the board is 10 questions. I was like, oh, wow.
That's another thing that I wish. I do wish that it would say like which question at that little banner at the bottom. But, because I like I said, goldfish, I'm like, wait, what question are we on? And I'll look at the score and it's like, but didn't somebody miss something? What actual number are we on?
Thanks for doing the whole mic proximity. Hey, what happened with the thing?
Hey, what question is this?
What question are we on?
It says 9 on the scoreboard.
Anytime any comedian does something like that, where it's like they're supposed to be yelling at somebody, they go, "Hey, what's going on? What?"
The mark of a true entertainer.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
9-10 in favor of Mr. Levine. Round 2. Barbarian goes first. He spins away from the 1960s. Can't blame him.
Oh yeah, that's
a while ago.
It was
a little while ago.
A little.
He gets Disney.
Ooh.
And Barbarian, I gotta hand it to the guy.
Down 2, still throwing trash.
He was throwing trash the whole time. Before the match, during the match, after the match. Like, I respect the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Like, my God. And he was like, well, if I got Disney, at least Sam's not gonna get any steals. Because I guess historically, Sam has shown that he's not like the biggest fan of Disney movies. So, Anyways, Barbarian goes to multiple choice twice. Got one, missed one, and that one got stolen. You say it and then it happens and it's like, that's why I don't trash talk. Because what if that happens? Then it's gonna be like, ooh.
Yeah, and that steal was real confident on Sam's part. It's like, oh yeah, he knew the answer right away.
Sam goes, he spins John Hughes. First spin says, yeah, let's do it, bro. Let's do it, brother. yeah, brother. He goes to multiple choice one time and got it. Great round two. 16-21 in favor of Sam. Round 3.
Trace.
2. Trace. 2-pointer for Barbarian. 1950s? Holy Jesus. Oh, boy. You didn't want 1960s? We'll do you one better. What?
Go back a decade.
What legendary actor appears in the films? There's no commas here. I'm hoping we got this all right. The Glenn Miller Story, Harvey, Rear Window, and Vertigo. Jimmy James Stewart. Got it. Jimmy Stewart is what most people call him, right?
Yeah, Jimmy Stewart.
Barbarian was like, James Stewart.
Yeah.
You know, got to make sure you got it right. The James Stewart. Yes. You know what I'm saying?
That's the case where it's like, yeah, it's the James Stewart.
Yeah.
Puts respect on
because I'm sure there are plenty of James Stewarts out there in the world.
It's like, no, the James Stewart.
No, this one.
Yeah.
The one that was in View Window. You know? 3-pointer for Barbarian. Denzel Washington, Don Cheadle, John Goodman, and Bruce Greenwood have supporting performances in what 2012 Denzel film? Flight. Got it. 2-pointer for Sam. Comedies. Will Ferrell, John C. Reilly, Adam Scott, and Richard Jenkins appear together in which comedy? So much room for activities. Step Brothers, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
Much like this room. Not really.
Debatable.
Yeah.
5-pointer.
A lot of stuff on the floors.
Yeah. There's a
lot of cosplay stuff. Yeah.
A lot of wires. I'm not a big wire fan.
The wires aren't as much as cosplay stuff.
Wires make me itch, you know? Hide them. It's 2022. There's plenty of ways to hide them.
Come see me at Celebration in my cosplay.
Sure. 5-pointer for the Barbarian. Ramus and the Reitmans. What? Who's that?
I don't know.
In some faraway land, William Bibiani just screamed out in horror at that
every
comment.
time we do this, he's like, guys, we'll get like a private...
Really?
Yeah, we'll either get a comment or like a disappointing dad head shake kind of DM. Like, guys.
Ramus and the Reitmans. Ramus Antilles? That's what I think of.
Yeah.
Anyways, in what 2010's film that he also directed does Ivan Reitman make a cameo as a musical TV show director? No Strings Attached. Got it. Also a critically acclaimed NSYNC song. Good album.
No
strings attached. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's a good song. I see the things he does to you. So good. Oh man, NSYNC's better than the Backstreet Boys. Fight me.
No fights here.
3-pointer for Sam. There was really no need to call it the Backstreet Boys just then. But also, No Strings Attached is a great album. We all know it's true. Great album. Check it out if you haven't. 3-pointer for Sam. Sequels and prequels. What is the title of the second film in the Mad Max series?
Ooh. It's
I said Fury Road because it's the only one I know.
That's the latest one.
Whoops. How many are there? More than 3?
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, yikes. I don't know the answer to that.
Ask me. I think it's, I don't know. I don't even
try The Road Warrior. I'm going to guess if somebody was like, hey, idiot, how many installments are there in the Mad Max? I'm going to go with, I'm going to say 5. I think it might be 5. I feel like that's a nice number.
I think it might be 5.
If it's more than 3, I'm going to go with 5. I feel like 4 would feel unfinished.
Yeah. Thunderdome was one of them.
Thunderdome?
I'm pretty sure.
Wow.
Don't ask me because there's a reason why I'm a Star Wars competitor.
How many Mad Max movies are there? Mad Max 1979?
Mm-hmm.
The Road Warrior. Mm-hmm. Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, see, I told you there's Thunderdome.
Fury Road, The Wasteland, and Furiosa. Okay.
Furiosa hasn't come out yet.
Well, neither has The Wasteland. That has 2023. So currently 4.
Really? I thought it was 5.
I mean, I don't know. According to the Google machine, currently there's 4. I guess it was projected to be 6.
Oh, wow.
I don't know. I'm not a singles competitor. I don't know. I'm just Googling in the dark here. Okay. Anyways, I was wrong. Road Warrior. Got it. 5-pointer for Sam. 1990s. Joe Pesci, makes a cameo at the end of what 1993 crime drama as a man named Carmine that Chaz Palminteri.
Uh-oh. What?
It says crime drama as a man named Carmine that Chaz Palminteri's Sonny had protected early in the film. Something happened there.
Yeah.
A man named Carmine that Chaz Palminteri protected earlier in the film. We're just going to delete that word. A Bronx Tale. Not to be confused with A Rumble in the Bronx. Got it. Very different movies, I'm sure.
Very different movie.
I just hear Bronx and that's where my brain goes.
The Bronx, yeah.
Anyways, 26-31.
Ooh.
Favor of Sam Levine.
Ooh, back in the title hunt.
Oh my Lord.
Ooh.
Can you even fathom the fact that Sam Levine is back playing as a competitor in the Schmoedown?
And now he gets to go against for the title.
Just like that, he's going for the title.
Hey, I mean, like we said it before, like this ring rust was not going to be a thing with Sam because
I said for a long time that he could drop right back in.
Mm-hmm. So
seems to be the case.
Yeah, and as far as Barbarian goes, it was a lot like the Janine versus Ethan last week, where like every point matters against Sam Levine of all people. Mm-hmm. So and Barbarian was along the lines of like, you know, like the bad rolls just kept coming, the breaks just wouldn't come and stuff like that. So it's just like, oh man, another match where just like that close.
Yeah, I think Barbarian even said so much in the post-match interview, like, you know, the wheel was more in his favor than mine, blah, blah, blah. He was still throwing barbs, you know, saying that Sam's a washed up competitor or whatever. I'm like, good for you, man.
Yeah. still playing the part.
Yeah.
So,
but you know, it sucks because I feel like Barbarian is one of those people that sometimes just like, oh, when is he gonna get over that hump?
Yeah, finally gonna get it. Yeah,
you know, because he's obviously a fantastic competitor. You don't make it to the finals of a 200-man singles tournament and not be good at what you do. Mm-hmm. So he'll be back in contention, I'm sure, at some point.
Yeah. So
this season.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
So, and also you can see it all over his face after the match. He's like, again, no, I'm pissed.
Yeah, again, so close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and with a competitor like that, it's only gonna light a fire, and then, you know, hopefully the next time, third time's a charm kind of thing.
Hopefully.
Never know, but. Yeah, we know that he's a fantastic competitor, and we know that we're going to see him again.
Yeah, you'll get a match. It's not like there's some competitors where it's like, oh, how are we going to see him again? Because like, you know, us obviously, like we live all the way on the East Coast. How are we going to? Because like, you know, especially with the Star Wars division being in question, like how are we going to get back into regular
Great question.
Play? So we'll see. But like Barbarian's local. You can show up on shoot days.
He's local, and by the way, he's also very good.
Yeah, so he'll definitely have no problems getting matches, and he'll probably see himself back in this situation again sooner rather than later.
For sure.
And if not through regular play, tournament, free-for-all's coming up.
He did it before. So, I'm sure he can do it again.
Yeah, so there's going to be plenty of opportunities for a competitor like that to find himself back in like title contention conversations again.
For sure. So, and then the craziest thing is that we get to say that this week we get to see Sam Levine going for the singles belt. He's going to be going up against challenging Lady Justice herself, Marisol McKee. And I got to say, this past number one contenders match, difficult for me. I love both of these guys. I love the Barbarian. I love Sam, both for different reasons. Mm-hmm. And now we got Sam Levine versus Marisol McKee. I love both these people. So it's very difficult. And it's kind of like, well, I'd be happy to see this person win because of X, Y, Z. I'd be happy to see this person win because of ABC. You know?
There are records on the line. Like Sam is going to go for a ninth straight win.
Isn't Marisol on the same type of trajectory?
Marisol, I think it's
like 8 or 9. She has like
something like that, but
a similar amount of.
But I know
wins.
she's gonna break or tie some kind of like defense record.
Yeah, there's something that she's about to break. Should she?
I think it might be singles title defenses. I don't think anybody's defended it 3 times in a row. I could be wrong. Mm-hmm. That's for other people because you know numbers. If you know the numbers, you know the numbers. Yeah. So I think she's chasing that record.
Well, they're both fixing to make their own type of history.
Yeah.
So
it's gonna be. Well, this is the first title match of the year, right?
Yeah.
So it's gonna. it is going to be a wild pay-per-view for people because I'm not sure 100% how it works. It's going to happen on Friday night. So I think everybody gets the first half of Titans. And
like patrons?
Yeah. Well, patrons get first half of Titans early, but the rest of us schlubs that aren't patrons will get it regularly. And then I think you have to pay for the main event. I think that's how it works.
I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll find out in due time.
Yeah.
But it's just crazy to me that it's like, wow, what year is it that we're talking about Sam Levine going for a belt again? So
it feels so great to have Sam Levine in competition.
It looks and feels so right to see him behind the podium.
It feels like Schmoedown of old.
Yes.
Like what a way to like bring it back to it's fitting because like we're trying to reboot Chris is trying to reboot the Schmoedown to make it get it back to those studio type matches, and what a great way to do it with somebody it's a highlight of that format. Yeah. With Sam Levine going for the title. And so it's like it's like this fun little like mix of like old meeting new. Yeah. You have like some people, Sam Levine, one of the greats to ever do it back when we were back in studio and had all the studio matches with the newest of the new, top of her game, first female champion. It's going to be a wild, wild event.
I cannot wait. And speaking of bringing things back, like one very small detail that happened during this match that I was like, oh, that was fun. Like, even though it's a stupid little detail, I really enjoyed the fact that before the match, they brought up like a screenshot of a tweet from Paige Ferretti.
Paige, yeah.
Because, Paige she's got an edge to her, Yeah. She's feeling a little burned that, Sam just, up and left the suspect. She's feeling a little burned. And I know that they were kind of like, well, the suspects are out there watching Sam. You don't know what side they fall on. Are they rooting for him? Are they hoping he falls, kind of thing? And, Paige has she's got a little bit of a chip on her shoulder with, Sam dissolving a suspect.
How does Nicki Dimalanta feel about the return of the Inglourious one?
100% in Sam's corner. Oh, my goodness. 100. I love Sam. He's amazing. But I loved seeing that screenshot of Paige's tweet because it felt like,
oh, I like the one that first started on Collider with like the memes.
It was like fan memes and fan art. Like it just felt like I was like, whoa, like this just it feels so right.
Yeah, that was the era where you got obsessed with the Schmoedown.
Yes. And so just seeing, because one thing that I do kind of miss, because we're not seeing, like, don't get me wrong, love Titans. And I will say that, I will beat that drum over and over and over again. One thing I miss a little is that we're not getting the promos of old. Yeah. Which is fine.
You sort of get it with the opening, the previously on Titans. You're sort of getting that.
That's why it doesn't feel like something's really missing.
Yeah, I imagine they're reserving promos for pay-per-views.
Maybe.
Because we got our first pay-per-view, we got that.
Or like big title matches.
Yeah, big, like Chandru versus Smets was a pay-per-view event. Right. So they'll probably reserve promos for that.
Which makes sense. Yeah. But like, where was I going? Oh, because like last season or the season before, like I thought it was kind of fun when people were doing their promos, and every so often you'd see like peppered into the mix. I think it was like 2 seasons ago. Every so often peppered into the mix, you'd see like a clip from an after show or a clip from some random interview.
We've gotten several times we've gotten shoved into promos by
exactly, and that's always a little fun thing to see. So, with that not being there, but then this match, seeing that tweet from Paige, I feel like there was another screenshot of something after they showed her tweet too. I just don't remember. But I was like, ooh, that was fun. Kind of hope we see things like that more often, because it just adds a whole new layer to the storytelling. Yeah. So whether it's a screenshot of a tweet, I mean, I don't know if clips will ever make into the mix again.
I'm sure they will, because especially with the promos for the pay-per-views, I think they might find their way in, because that was a staple of what Nerd Chronic did, especially for the digital age. Yeah. Of like when we, as competitors, we'd be like, hey, we need your footage. Record your promo and then send it to us. And then just to fill whatever wasn't there, pull from after shows or whenever, because we've appeared on after shows talking about matches and prospective matches and past matches, and Nerd Chronic has pulled from that. So I imagine that'll happen again.
Maybe for bigger matches, but I really enjoyed seeing that. Even though it was one tiny thing for just a couple seconds, I was like, ooh, I liked that. That felt like Schmoedown of old, when people did make those like Schmoedown memes or whatever they were. But yeah, I really enjoyed that, stupid little detail. Yeah. But so we this is going to be a huge weekend, huge event. Gotta be honest. I know we were talking about like, this is the formula. We know who's going to be in the undercard or whatever. I'm not really sure. Don't judge me if it's like clear as day to some people, but I'm not really sure what to expect from the undercard because like, yeah, sure. Movement just called out Gucci, but are we really going to see a movement match 2 weeks in a row? Doubt it.
Yeah, that's true.
I kind of doubt it. And the after scene, after the overcard, if you will, you know, I don't know. I mean, let's get into that.
Yeah.
So after the match, we had a scene. We were in a room with Marisol and Shannon. There's just girl talking, you know, just gabbing.
Yeah.
Catching up.
Getting ready for the match.
Getting ready for the match, yeah. And Shannon's talking about, you know, this and this and that. And Marisol's like, no, listen, we got to talk about Adam. We got to talk about what's happening with Adam Collins. I need to know. And I feel like Shannon did try to skirt the issue a little bit, but she's like, no. We need to talk about Adam and what's going on. Next thing you know, Adam walks in the room. Awkward. And, you know, Shannon's talking to him, doing her thing, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, Adam's like, well, because she kind of basically extended him like, hey, if you want it, the spot's there.
Yeah.
You know, I had to do what I had to do.
Just ruffling your feathers.
Yeah. Just kind of, you know, keeping it spicy, whatever. But, you know, the offer's there. Of course. You're Adam Collins. You guys are deception. It's there kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And Adam was like, ooh, yikes, bad news.
I signed with somebody else.
I
had to look out for me.
I had to look out for the number one and couldn't sit around waiting kind of thing. And the next thing you know, Winston walks in. Adam Collins on swag.
That's an interesting combo. Like,
yes,
that was the last place I thought he would end up.
Because like, you think about the overall feel of a faction, and sometimes moves are like, yes, that makes a lot of sense. You know, like speaking of corruption, when they were like, oh, we're gonna have Laura Kelly back, it's like, yeah. You know, Bateman going to the den was kind of like, sure.
It's like, yeah.
And, you know, they're now a heel type group.
Yeah.
So yeah, that makes sense. So there's certain things that you're just like, yeah, absolutely. Like Janine going to the dungeon. Yeah. Working with you know, Kevin Smets, close with him kind of thing.
Yeah, it made sense. Yeah.
Makes sense. But like Adam Collins' swag, it's kind of like, okay. Like you wonder
why swag.
You wonder, yeah exactly. Like, you wonder what's that going to do? Is it going to do anything for his character? Because Adam's he's kind of what's a good word to describe Adam? He's kind of like
careful because he watches the show.
I doubt it anymore. But like, I don't know, prove me wrong, but I doubt it. I just assume
nobody watches.
I usually assume anytime it's like, hey, does this person watch? It's like, probably not. But like, I would say Adam, his personality is more.
It doesn't line up with the swag. A little bit more reserved. Yeah.
You know, a little bit more guarded.
It made sense on corruption.
Yeah. It made total sense on corruption because he seems to be a little bit more reserved, maybe a little bit more guarded. And then you think of Winston, you think of like, yeah, let's get after this, do this. Yeah, you know, got swag.
Yeah, not an attitude with you, but like an air about you. Like,
no, I mean a slight attitude. Yeah, you know,
not like a snarky attitude, but more like a. You know
but you know what? Now that you're saying that out loud, Adam's never really been one to be like, you know, take an idiot like me. And I'm like, I don't know. We'll see how this match friggin' goes.
Yeah.
Adam has never really been too shy about being like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
So actually, maybe it kind of does make sense.
Yeah. And
because that's all about the swag of going in there and being like, yeah, I am great and I am going to do great. And
like we say it all the time, maybe the change in atmosphere helps him because he went through that sophomore slump last season where it's like, I hate to say it, like, you know, as good as he was his rookie year, undefeated, beat Dan Murrell for the title. It's like that's
everybody.
Yeah. That second season was like, what happened?
Yes, it was. That's the problem. Like I said a million times before, that's a problem with having a stellar rookie season. Because if you don't do that consistently every year, which is kind of unrealistic, everyone's going to be like, what happened to him? It's like, oh, I don't know. He's human.
Yeah.
And sometimes chance comes into play, not Ellison.
Yeah.
Actual chance. But like, That's the problem with having such a great first season.
Yeah, but maybe what happens with like that attitude on corruption is kind of the reason why he kind of stumbled a bit, and maybe this change of scenery makes him play looser and gets him, to the answers quicker, or maybe the study tactics change a bit, the prep changes a bit from going from faction to faction.
Exactly. So, like that was kind of the way I felt about Mr. Irwin going to the stars. I was like, wait a minute, a heel Irwin? Mm-hmm. But like you said, maybe that's kind of what he needs. And then listen, he won his first match and he did it well.
In deciding faction too, yeah.
So like, maybe swag will work for Adam, because like if I were to be picking a faction for Adam Collins, I'm not sure that swag would be the first one to come to my mind. Obviously corruption is going to come first, but if somebody was like, oh no, you can't pick corruption, I don't think swag will be one of the ones to come to my mind.
Yeah, no.
But maybe that's because maybe you need to think outside the box. And I feel like this is an out of the box move.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see how this goes. The weird part about this cutscene.
Yeah, it was very the end of it. I was like, this is strange.
We might be among the only people to feel this way, because I feel like this was like really, and not that we didn't like it, but like I feel like a lot of people were like, wow, this was great and this and that, blah blah blah. Yeah. I just felt that it was like odd.
Yeah, it's like it didn't feel like a Shannon moment. Because it was a lot of like emotion and like take care of my guy. It's like, this is not Shannon.
Which is fine.
Yeah, but it's like I'm waiting for the Shannon, the queen of corruption, to come out like, this is what you're gonna do to me? All right, fine then. Like that kind of stuff.
Quite literally, when we were watching that scene, Winston comes into frame. Take care of my boy, and they're
hugs
like,
and
hugs
emotion.
and kisses and whatever, emotion and blah blah blah. I was more than half expecting
to have a knife
when they like leave, Winston and Adam leave the room. I was half expecting Shannon to just kind of wipe away her tears and go, we're gonna destroy him, kind of thing. Yeah, that's what I was expecting. But instead of that, she took her crown off and put it on the table, and they both just had an emotional moment of like, oh my god, we just lost one of our like closest friends. Yeah, and like a core member of our team, and it just ended at that.
It's like, what?
It's like, that is not what I was expecting.
Yeah.
So, but then again, sometimes it's good to get what you're not expecting. But that is definitely not what I expected.
Yeah, I was like,
I expected her to just, wipe away the tears. How are we going to destroy him? Kind of thing.
Like a deeper, not like, because it's like that argument of like, does it scare you more for somebody to yell at your face and like get at your face, or just like that calm, like get out of my way type of energy? Like that's just something that I was expecting, of like
calm, quiet rage.
Yeah, that just that attitude of like, we're gonna do work and he's gonna regret leaving us type of stuff. So it's like, it was strange for the scene to end like that. I was like, this does not feel like corruption. This does not feel like the queen.
Calm, quiet rage.
Yeah, I was expecting that.
That's my energy. That's my kind of energy. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm not a yeller. I mean, I'm not typically a yeller, but ooh. So yeah, I get what you're saying, but like, no, I was totally expecting something different. That was a curveball for me.
Yeah.
But absolute kudos for the acting chops.
Yeah, this entire scene was very well performed.
Yeah, absolutely. Because somebody was like, Jesus, like we got this kind of an emotion out of a scene from two people that are clearly not even actors by profession, by trade.
Yeah.
Shannon works in healthcare. She's a nurse.
Yeah.
But she's like,
really good.
She was making me go like,
wait a minute. She's in a relationship with an actor, so.
Yeah, I'm also in a relationship with a videographer. I don't know how to edit things. So, it's not like osmosis.
Well, no, that kind of stuff does rub off on you. Of like, you'll look at scenes sometimes and you're like, oh, that could have been better. You know what I mean?
I'm sure skills like that are a bit different. Yeah, I see what you're saying. But yeah, no, it was great. It just did not end the way that I thought it would.
Yeah.
So interested to see what happens. And now the question becomes, okay, Adam's on swag now.
Paul Oyama
team up?
That's the logical answer, right?
Has Paul, I mean, are we assuming that Paul's on swag, or has Paul been confirmed?
Paul's confirmed to be on swag.
Okay, sure.
And it also, that title shot comes into play now. It's like, does Paul go for it himself? Or he's like, ooh, I got Adam Collins now. Let's team up straight to a title shot, because he's got that in his pocket. He's got to use it soon. because free for all's coming up real soon.
Yeah.
So he has to use it up before that happens.
Free for all's in April, right?
Yeah. So that has to happen real quick. So does he go for the team's title? Because like I know like speaking from a comparison, I want to go because the singles title is the pinnacle of the Schmoedown. Do you wait for this whole Levine Marisol thing to shape out, or do you just automatically go because there's no clear contender for the team style right now, if he's able to edge out Shazam in the team's division, he becomes another one of those players that has been able to hold the singles and the team's title.
Well,
and that's something that I think a lot of people singles competitors will be like, ooh, that's another notch on my resume that I want. In
regard to the singles title, no, I don't think he's going to cash it in because, I mean, timeline wise, logically, we're getting Marisol Sam this weekend.
Yeah.
Unless something crazy happens. I don't see that happening before this weekend. It could, because you can challenge and call out anybody you want.
Yeah, but I
just don't see it. But wouldn't it be crazy? I mean, if I'm Paulo Yama and I want a free for all, I'm somehow inserting myself into that title shot, whether it's singles or teams. It's highly doubtful that I'm going to give that to somebody. But wouldn't it be crazy for Paulo Yama? This weekend, sure, we're getting Marisol and Sam.
Yeah.
Let's say Marisol defends again. Wouldn't it be nuts if Paulo Yama was like, "Here you go, Adam. Take on your former Deception teammate." Wouldn't that be wild? Oh. Assuming she wins. If not, then you got to deal with Sam running around with the belt again.
Yeah.
But that'd be crazy.
Yeah. I still think he uses it on himself.
I would if I were him.
I would use it on himself. If I was
like, I'm the one that won it in a free for all.
Yeah.
I'm going to use it on
somehow
myself.
if I was in a free for all and I came in last and somehow won it all.
Yeah.
I would not gift it. I'll still use it on myself.
No, it's like, love you guys, but also I'm the one that won it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd be really surprised if he used it on anybody but himself, but he could, and wouldn't it be nuts? Marisol, if she defends, put Adam and Marisol against each other for the belt. Holy Jesus Christmas.
Yeah.
But that's all contingent on who wins this next Titans. It's a huge match. I have a, sneaking suspicion that it's going to be a really tight, close match. Yeah. So I cannot wait to see how it plays out. But yeah, clock's ticking for Paul. He's going to have to use that title shot pretty soon. And now that you got Adam on your team, do you team up with him?
It would make perfect sense for him to go for the team's belt.
I mean,
because
like I said, pretty strong teammate.
Like I said, like that singles title, I imagine he wants it back. Become a 2-time champion. Say he has an opportunity to be either a 2-time singles champion or a competitor that's held both singles and teams. So
Paul's never held a team's
belt?
He's
never held a team's belt.
Damn.
So he can put himself in the company of people like Dan Morrell, Sam Levine,
John Roca,
all those, Christian Harloff. We went over the other, and who else? And William Bibiani. That's a short list. And all big names. Yeah. So
it's a very exclusive VIP club.
Or do you go to the singles 2-time club? Ethan Irwin, Ethan Irwin, John Roca, Mark Riley, Dan Merle has held it like 4 times. Am I missing? I think
Don't ask me.
Might be missing somebody. But yeah, that's another short list of people that are 2-time multiple singles title holders.
Well, I mean, what better teammate can you ask for than Adam Collins?
Yeah.
So, interested to see. This opens a lot of this poses a lot of questions.
Yeah.
This move.
So a lot of opportunities for people on swag.
Excited to see how this plays out. Curious to see if the crown coming off is significant at all, because there's no way corruption's making any kind of turn. I doubt it. There's no way. There's no way.
And then there's that other option of where does that 5th spot go? Do they leave it open? Because you don't need that 5th spot to be filled, or do you?
You don't, because as of right now, you
don't need a 5th person.
You've got Chance and Mike running around in singles. You got Chance and Mike running around in teams. You got Chance and Mike running around in IG. You got Laura Kelly running around in Star Wars. You're kind of covered on all bases.
And you have the singles, the champ. With Marisol. It's like you're in good shape. You don't need a 5th person.
You're in pretty good shape. You got Marisol running around with the belt. Yeah. So you're covered on all bases. That's wild.
Yeah.
That's only 4 names.
and
you're covered.
Yeah.
So yeah, she could fifth spot, take it or leave it, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
She could keep it open and just
run around full flares.
It's loose this season, keep it open. You never know who's gonna pop up. Because I know that Christian did a Q&A somewhat recently, and someone was like, "When we go see rookies?" And Christian's like, "I don't know, when we get some."
Yeah.
So you never know. Somebody might pop up from the FCL.
Yeah, we had a huge influx of rookies last season. We don't need any new names really.
But
we
you
might
never know.
We might get one or two. I would guess this season we probably won't see any more than 3 rookies.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a lot. Considering
there's a reason they cut the roster in half.
Yeah.
So we can see more of the people that have been established.
Right.
And so
I don't know. If I'm Shannon, I'm looking pretty solid. I might keep it open and just keep my options open. I mean, granted, even if you filled it, you could just drop them and pick somebody else up because that's just the nature of the season. But she's looking pretty solid as is.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Very excited. A lot of questions coming out of this Titans.
As always. Especially the beginning of the season, a lot of question marks because factions.
Because we haven't even the factions have 5 spots and we haven't even
filled a lot of them.
Is there any faction that we know all 5 spots? I feel like
I think the Mercs are full because we have Shazam, me, Liz Shannon Miller, and Brandon Hanna. I think we're full.
Full up.
Full up.
Well,
I think that's the only faction that the entire roster is.
I feel
announced.
like every other faction has at least one spot that is like.
Some have 3 to 2.
Exactly. So that's kind of crazy. So I can't wait.
It's gonna be great.
This is gonna be a huge Titans, and there's not even a point in telling people to watch it. If you're watching this show, you're gonna be watching Titans on Friday. So
Dude, and it's gonna be
definitely
a crazy pay-per-view.
Oh man, I can't wait.
Marisol McKee looks to defend against Sam Levine. Did you ever think you were going to hear that?
Looks to grab her third defense
in a row.
And Sam looks to do the comeback of a lifetime and reclaim the belt that he vacated.
Yeah. Didn't
when
lose
he
it.
Left.
Didn't lose it. Just gave it up.
Didn't lose it. Just somebody else picked it up when he just kind of gave deuces for a little bit. So wild storyline either way. Can't wait to see how it shakes out. It's going to be a close match. I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah. Well, with that, we will go ahead and wrap the show up here. Star Wars competitor Nicki Dimalanta. Where can they find you online?
Twitter.
Not on Instagram?
I mean, I have an Instagram, but it's maybe every 2 weeks and I'm like, oh, right. I should put a picture on here or whatever. And then I do. Last time I was like, here's my dog. I posted a couple pictures of our dog and the last picture remixed itself and got corrupted or something.
I think the internet kind of cut out or something.
Stupid.
Yeah.
And I think I was texting Allison after the fact, and I was like, I don't know what that happened to that stupid 4th picture. She's like, oh, I thought that was just an artistic choice. Nope, just Instagram killing my vibe. Yeah. Anyways, you can mostly find me on Twitter at Dimmy, DIMMMYYY.
As for me, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Drew Dimalanta, DIMALANTA, and on TikTok at Rogue Leader Drew. If you're listening to this on audio form, please follow the feed and rate us. Dramatic pause.
And if you're watching on YouTube, comment, subscribe, and click the bell icon in the lower right-hand corner. See when we do things on the YouTube. The YouTube.
Which will hopefully be rad coming up soon. We have plans to knock out a couple in one go. So
that is true.
So we'll probably won't see rad around for the next couple of weeks or so. I don't know. We'll see.
I don't know about that.
But we'll
playing it loose, as usual.
Playing it loose. Rad is one of those where it's we try to make it regular, but we just couldn't get around to it.
Playing it fast and loose.
But what will be regular for a limited run, going rogue, will be airing at the end of the month, our Road to Celebration. So tune in for that.
Yes.
It's going to be awesome. So thank you.
It's coming up.
Yes.
Coming up real soon.
So excited. Thank you so much for joining us on this episode of Beyond the Schmoedown. We'll see you guys next time.